This video is dedicated to my vegetarian friends and addresses the importance of protein in our diet. Many of you, especially those who are vegetarian, would have often wondered if you are getting enough protein from your daily intake. And this is because a vegetarian diet tends to be higher in carbohydrates and lower in protein than those who consume meat and seafood. Hence, it is essential you ensure that you have a healthy balance of carbohydrates and proteins in your diet if you are a vegetarian. Veggie Foods High in protein coming up. This video is brought to you by Good Health Corner. At Good Health Corner, we bring research health information in a simplified manner that is easy to understand. If you like what you see here, we request you to support us by clicking the like, subscribe and the bell icon. This will ensure you get notified every time we release a new video. Disclaimer: the health statements made in this video and the site are not intended to diagnose, treat, cure or prevent any disease. They are solely for information purposes. So always consult your doctor before implementing any treatment protocol. And as always, let's start with a few basics. What is protein? Proteins are essential building blocks of the human body. They serve as a source of energy for the body and form body tissue. Protein can be found in all body cells and is a major structural component of all cells in the body, primarily muscle. So muscle, skin, bones and other parts of the human body contain significant amounts of protein. And they also work as neurotransmitters. Proteins are long chains of amino acids linked together by peptide bonds. About 20 naturally occurring amino acids combine in different ways to produce different types of proteins, each with a unique function in the body. And of these, 9 are essential amino acids the body cannot synthesize on its own and must come from food sources. Amino acids are organic molecules that consist of carbon, hydrogen, oxygen, nitrogen and sometimes sulfur. And these are present in almost all food in various combinations. So let's understand what are the functions of protein. Proteins are required for almost all body functions. It is proteins that build, repair, replace or strengthen tissues and muscles. And there are various types of proteins, each with a unique function. For example, they can be structural like collagen, which forms the building block of all tissue, and keratin that forms a protective covering for hair. Or it can be hormonal like insulin that helps in the synthesis of glucose. It can be also carriers like hemoglobin that carries oxygen to different parts of the body. Or enzymes like digestive enzymes that help to break down and absorb nutrients from food. Now let's understand what are the types of protein. It is the amino acids in food that allow the body to create and synthesize proteins. And if we do not consume enough amino acids, we will not synthesize enough proteins for our bodies to function optimally. There are also 9 essential amino acids that the human body does not synthesize, so they must come from diet. The 9 essential amino acids that the human body does not synthesize are histidine, isoleucine, leucine, lysine, methionine, phenylalanine, threonine, tryptophan and valine. And all foods contain some of these amino acids, but in different combinations. The higher the number of amino acids in the food, the higher is the protein synthesis. From a dietary standpoint, food sources of protein could be classified into 3 types, and these are: Number 1. Incomplete proteins. These foods contain at least one essential amino acid, but not all. So, there is a lack of balance in the proteins. Plant foods such as peas, beans, lentils and grains mostly contain incomplete protein. This basically implies that it is harder for the body to synthesize protein from these food sources. Number 2. Complete proteins. These foods contain all 9 essential amino acids and are considered complete sources of protein. They mainly occur in animal products such as meat, dairy and eggs. And these sources of protein are synthesized easily. Quinoa and soy are 2 sources of plant-based complete proteins, but most other sources are incomplete forms. And number 3, complementary proteins. These refer to 2 or more foods containing incomplete proteins that people can combine to supply complete protein. Examples include rice and beans or bread with peanut butter. When combined, improves protein synthesis. The body does not need all amino acids in each meal to synthesize protein, but there should be an overall balance for proper protein synthesis. Now let's understand what is the recommended dietary intake for protein. The recommended dietary intake for protein is a modest 0.8 grams of protein per kilogram of body weight. And for information, RDI is the amount of nutrient you need to meet your basic nutritional requirements. In a sense, it's the minimum amount you need for your body to perform the essential functions. For example, for a 2000 calorie meal, 50 grams of protein is recommended on average. However, specifying exact amounts is difficult because a range of factors such as age, gender, activity level and status, for example pregnancy, can play a role. Other variables can include the proportion of amino acids available in specific protein foods and the digestibility of individual amino acids. So the question is, why is protein deficiency common among vegetarians? For those who consume meat, fish and eggs as part of the daily diet, there are enough protein sources along with the balanced proportion of the 9 essential amino acids in the daily diet. So protein deficiency is unlikely for those who consume meat, eggs and fish in sufficient quantities in their daily diet. However, there is a high possibility that your diet may not provide you enough protein for your body's needs if you are a vegetarian, because there are only a few vegetarian sources of complete proteins like quinoa and soy. And hence more attention is needed to ensure a balanced intake of all essential amino acids if you follow a vegetarian diet. Let us understand some of the symptoms of protein deficiency. Protein deficiency is when your intake of food is insufficient to meet your body's protein requirements. And if you're deficient, your body may show some signs and symptoms of diverse health conditions, such as in skin, hair and nails. Protein is the basic building block of skin, hair and nails. And a deficiency may manifest as hair loss, skin problems like premature aging, loss of skin elasticity, skin dryness and brittle nails. It can show as loss of muscle mass. And this is usually the first symptom of protein deficiency, as muscle is mainly made up of protein. It can also lead to weakening of the bones, because proteins play an essential role in maintaining bone health, and protein deficiency may manifest as weak bones with a higher risk of fracture. It can lead to a weak immune system. Protein deficiency can weaken your immune system and put you at a higher risk of infections. It can lead to fatty liver. Fat accumulation in the liver cells, commonly known as fatty liver, is a common symptom of protein deficiency that could easily go unnoticed. It can lead to impaired growth in children. Protein not only helps in building bone mass and muscles, but it is essential for overall body growth as well. And it is essential for children to have a sufficient intake of healthy proteins to ensure optimal growth. It can lead to fatigue or tiredness. This could also be a symptom of protein deficiency, though it is often associated with iron deficiency or anemia. Now, let's understand vegetarian foods high in protein. Following are the top vegetarian foods that are excellent sources of protein. And including these in your diet will ensure you are getting enough daily intake of protein to help your body function at its best. Quinoa. This is an excellent source of protein to include in your diet, as it is one of the complete protein sources, which means that it contains all 9 essential amino acids. 1 cup of quinoa contains 8 grams or 16% of RDI. And it can be used in salads, porridge, or as a substitute for rice in any preparation. Soy. Another source of complete protein for vegetarians could be in the form of tofu or edamame beans. Edamame beans are immature soybeans with a slightly sweet taste, and they need to be steamed or boiled before consumption and eaten on their own or added to soups and salads. Tofu is made from bean curds and is made by cooking and slightly fermenting soybeans, which are then pressed to make tofu. Tofu could be used in salads, tossed with veggies, scrambled, and many other ways. 1 cup of tofu contains 43 grams or 87% of RDI. And 1 cup of edamame beans provides 14 grams or 27.6% of RDI. Lentils. Lentils are an excellent source of protein, though not a complete protein. 1 cup of cooked lentils provide 18 grams or 36% of the RDI. For better protein synthesis, mix different types of lentils to have a better balance of amino acids. Another great way to get the best results is to pair up lentils with rice and a spoon of ghee or clarified butter. This is a staple in most Indian vegetarian households and a great combination that provides the best balance of amino acids to support protein synthesis. Chickpeas and beans. Chickpeas, popularly known as garbanzo beans, and all varieties of beans like kidney beans, black beans, pinto beans, and others are all great protein sources. 1 cup of cooked beans or chickpeas contains about 15 grams or 30% of the RDI. And they're also excellent sources of complex carbs, fiber, iron, folate, phosphorus, potassium, and manganese. Nuts. Among nuts, almonds and peanuts are the best sources of protein. Nuts are also excellent sources of fiber and healthy fats in addition to the iron, calcium, magnesium, selenium, phosphorus, vitamin E, and specific B vitamins. Including almonds in your diet can reduce the bad or the LDL cholesterol. One handful of almonds is packed with 6 grams of protein or 12% of RDI. And for peanuts, one serving of the same size provides 4 grams of protein or 8% of RDI. Seeds. Among seeds, chia seeds and pumpkin seeds definitely deserve a place. They come packed with 8.5 grams or 17% of RDI per handful. And they also contain a good amount of iron, calcium, selenium, magnesium, and omega-3 fatty acids and antioxidants. It can be a great salad topping or consumed as a healthy snack by itself. Yogurt. This is another good source of protein for vegetarians. And this could be taken in the form of smoothies, salad dressing, or simply plain. Power packed with 14 grams of protein per serving or 28% of RDI, it deserves a definite inclusion in your diet. Cheese. All types of cheese, Parmesan, mozzarella, goat cheese, cheddar, are excellent sources of protein. And the highest being cottage cheese that packs 14 grams or 29% of RDI per serving. Cheddar is also a great source of protein, coming up close second with the 9 grams or 18% RDI per serving. Peas. Another super veggie. Peas come packed with 8.6 grams of protein per serving. And it is also a great source of iron, zinc, magnesium, and potassium. You can mix with any other veggies in curry or gravy to increase the nutritional value of the dish. Also, great as a soup. Protein-rich vegetables. Vegetables with most protein include broccoli, spinach, asparagus, artichokes, potatoes, sweet potatoes, and Brussels sprouts. And they provide 4 grams per cup or 8% of RDI. Now, here are some tips to improve protein synthesis from food. Most protein sources for vegetarians are incomplete, as they only contain a few of the 9 essential amino acids. So, pair them together to have a better balance of amino acids and hence better protein synthesis. Good examples would be rice and beans, or bread and peanut butter, or a combination of lentils instead of using only one variety. By pairing different combinations, the overall balance of amino acids can be improved. Excessive caffeine consumption has been linked to poor protein absorption, so limiting the intake of tea and coffee is recommended. And to optimize absorption, it is recommended to spread out protein intake during the day with some source of protein included in every meal. If you have very high physical activity or very high muscle mass and current protein sources are still inadequate, a protein supplement may be considered. And there are several good brands available in the market, but check to ensure they don't have high sugar content. If you are lactose intolerant, plant-based protein supplements would be a better alternative to milk-based whey protein supplements. In conclusion, though protein sources are limited for vegetarians and most sources do not provide all the essential amino acids, it is still possible to meet your daily needs by ensuring you include the foods mentioned in this video in your diet. And do evaluate your diet to ensure you are including these in adequate quantities. Hope you have enjoyed this video. If you'd like to see more such videos, we recommend you to subscribe to our channel and give a thumbs up to this. A little bit of encouragement from you will go a long way for us. Thank you, and we hope to see you again. Bye for now.